Hi everybody, welcome to Beginner Yoga. My name is Joanne. Thanks for joining me to practice today. I'm really happy to be here with you guys, and I hope you enjoy the practice. So today we're going to start in a nice comfortable seat. So whatever that is for you, it might be more comfortable to sit up on a blanket or a cushion, so that whatever position you're in, you can feel tall in the spine. So I don't want you rounding. If it's difficult to sit up, please sit up on something so that you can elevate your hips so that you can lengthen through your spine. So getting yourself situated, and then I'm going to lift the flesh from under my sitting bones so I can ground there. Find a nice stable position and length through the spine. I'm going to rest my hands on my knees. You can have your palms down or up, or you can do one of each. So if you want more grounding today, it's nice to have the palms down. If you feel like you need some openness or receptivity, palms up is nice. So whatever suits you in your practice today. And then we're going to find that length in the spine and relax the shoulders away from your ears. I want you to tuck your chin in just a little bit so you feel the back of the head pulling up and toward the sky, just a little bit. So we don't want the head jutting forward. We want to find that nice length through the whole spine. And then we'll close our eyes here at the beginning to center and ground ourselves. And I always like to invite folks to set an intention or a dedication for your practice. So choosing one thing to focus on. Could be anything from alignment and breath to maybe taking it easy on yourself today if you feel like you need a little more rest, or maybe you want to challenge yourself today. So it could also be a dedication for your practice to the world at large, to all this existential crises that are happening in the moment. So it's also nice to dedicate the practice if you choose to do that. So finding your intention or dedication and repeating that to yourself 3 times. And if you haven't yet, really begin to deepen the breath. So just a little review for those who might be joining for the first time. For yoga, we want to really breathe into our belly. So we embrace our belly. I know a lot of us want to hide our belly or flatten our stomachs, but here we really want to think about expanding the belly, like a Buddha belly. So we want to breathe into the belly first. So the breath starts in the lower abdomen. And as we expand the breath, it moves laterally, it moves 3-dimensionally through the body. So it's not just up and down, it's moving out to the sides as well. So we want to take the breath out through the ribs and the back of the body. And we want to bring the breath all the way to the lungs and the chest, causing your clavicle bone to rise a little bit. So if you're new to the practice, it's nice to sometimes bring a hand to the belly and a hand to the ribs so you can follow that and see if you can feel that expansion of your breath throughout the whole body. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. We'll breathe into the belly, all the way up. The exhale will go the same. We'll reverse our wave. So as you exhale, your chest comes down, your ribs come back toward the midline, and your navel gently pulls toward the spine. So we squeeze the belly a little bit at the bottom so we can really get rid of all the stale air from the lungs. That will also automatically help to reinflate your belly on the inhale, so you'll feel it lower. So nice, deep, full cycles of breath. Continuing to breathe nice and deep. With each exhale, soften a little bit in the muscles, soften the shoulders, soften the face. Letting go on the out breath of anything that you don't need, mental or physical. Also like to think about, as we're breathing and settling into our practice, thinking about where the head and the spine, the neck meet, at the back of your head. Thinking of a little energetic smile, so feeling a little lift at the corners and the sides of the head and the skull. So we feel a sense of lightness there. So we're not, like the head is heavy, it's super heavy, so we want to feel a nice energetic lift. So to support that, we want to make sure the spine is tall too, so make sure that's the case. And then feel that nice energetic lift. You may not see it, but you can feel it. It's a lightness. Also feeling that at the corners of the eyes and the mouth. Let's take another cycle of breath here. Softening on the out breath. Breathe in here, nice and big, grow tall. And then on your next exhale, we're just going to bow the chin to the chest. So we're going to honor ourselves here. Take a moment to bring your attention within. And make sure that throughout the practice, you are honoring yourself and listening to your body. So if anything doesn't feel right to you in your body, then please don't do it. You never want to work in pain. So if anything is uncomfortable, find a way to adjust so that it is comfortable, or just skip whatever we're doing. So listen to your body, stretching through the back of the head here, back of the neck. Make sure the posture is still tall. Breathe in and out. Good, and then nice and slow, we're going to rock an ear to the shoulder, opening up. Exhale as you bring the chin down. We'll inhale to the other side. Nice smooth movements and smooth breath. Soft face, soft jaw. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to the side. Make sure you're still lifting through the spine, even though the head comes forward. We're not slouching, shoulders are back, open to the other side. Exhale, chin down. One more time to the first side. Whichever ear is over the shoulder, you're going to take your opposite arm out to the side. We're going to walk our fingertips out and lift the arm off the floor. Stretch through the fingers. And then we're going to wiggle the fingers like you're playing a piano. So you want to feel this, make sure the posture is tall. Soften the shoulder so we're not hiking our shoulder up. Keep it dropping. And just wiggle the fingers around. We're going to move the wrists now in some circles. Make some wrist circles. Keeping the head to the side, feeling that stretch down the whole neck and arm. Reverse your wrist circles. Play a little more piano. Open, nice and tall here. Now we're going to turn the whole arm forward so the thumb comes down. Turn your shoulder in a little bit. And then rotate the opposite direction. Thumb comes up, open through the front of the arm and the chest. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. So if thumb comes down, rotate your shoulder internally. And one more time, externally. Thumb comes up, open up. Good, slowly lower that hand down, drop the chin. Take it to the other side, inhale. Good. Opposite hand walks out. Walk your fingers out. Launch the hand up. Stretch through your fingers all the way out. Make sure the posture is still tall with the head flexed to the side. Begin to play some piano, wiggling the fingers. Keep breathing. And then we'll start some wrist circles. So you might feel this all the way up into your neck, into the forearm, upper arm. Reverse your circles. Good. Check your posture. Play a little more piano. Breathe. And then we're gonna rotate the whole arm. So thumb comes down, shoulder forward, internally rotating. Feeling that through the back of your shoulder, through the neck. And then slowly come up. Thumb reaches up. Externally rotate. Keep pulling the thumb back as far as you can. Feel that in the front of your chest and the arm. One more time down. Keep turning till you feel a good stretch and up. Keep breathing. Good. Slowly lower the hand down. Drop the chin to the chest. Take your head upright. Let's shrug our shoulders here. Squeeze them up by the ears and down the back. Big circles. So squeeze up. As you breathe in, exhale as you squeeze them behind your back. Inhale and exhale. Great. Now we're going to inhale, take one arm up, reach up, walk the other hand out to the side. We're going to fold through the side body. Keep your hips grounded. And you want to really feel length here from the hip all the way into the armpit. And then feel a little length on the other side too. So we're not just collapsing, but lifting through the whole back, through the whole spine. Reach up. Keep your shoulder and your arm relaxed as much as you can. So from here, I'm going to bow forward. And now I'm going to turn my shoulder toward the front. I'm going to bring my elbow toward you, you toward me, and then reach and sweep out nice and long. Bring that hand to the other side as you sweep the other arm in front and over to the side. And then again, check that you're grounded in your hips, your arm is soft. Get a nice stretch through the side body here, breathe. Again, not collapsing in the bottom arm, but lengthening through both sides. And then we're going to round again, reach forward with the elbow and the hand. Totally come all the way over and up. So it should feel good. I want you to see if you can feel like the full range of motion. So stretch out as much as you can and reach up and over. We're going to do that one more time each way. Reach and bow, reach. Stacking our shoulders. Good. Bow forward here. We're going to walk both hands out to the front. Bring your forehead down toward the mat. And then whichever leg you have crossed in front, you're going to walk toward that toe side. So I'm going to walk this direction with my foot and fold. So this is a deep stretch for that opposite hip. Soften your shoulders. Walking slowly back through center. We're going to walk it back to our seat, and we're going to switch the cross of the legs so the other leg comes out in front. You're going to walk forward again, and then we'll follow that front foot to the other side, stretching our hip. Soften and bow. Take another cycle of breath here. Great. Walk forward, back to center, and walk back. Nice. Let's sweep the arms up. Reach up. And exhale, float the arms down. Twice more. Sweep up, reach. And exhale. Another deep breath in. As we reach. And exhale, float the arms down. Excellent. Take the hands behind your back now. Clasp the hands. Pull the arms down and back. Open your chest. So if you have a little more room in the shoulders, you can lift the arms away from the back to deepen that stretch just a little bit, stretching through the chest. Deep breath. You don't want to overarch in the low back though, so be careful of that. Keep your lower ribs hugging in and the spine tall. Relax, release, shrug your shoulders here, up and down. Awesome. Let's slowly make our way to a tabletop position. We're going to come onto all fours. If you need a cushion for your knees, you're welcome to use one. And if you have any trouble with your wrists, you can always come onto your fists if that's better. So we want to align the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Make sure you've got a good, sturdy foundation for your tabletop. And then we also want to rotate the inside of our elbow to shine to the front of the mat and allow a micro bend. So I don't want to lock the arm. I want to allow a micro bend so that the circulation still flows really well there. So we never want to lock our joints for the most part. So nice and soft there. Gripping everything into the mat so that every surface of your hand and the fingers is pressing into the floor and away from your mat. So you can find lots of foundational strength there. And then we're going to take some cat-cow stretches. So the neck should start out nice and neutral. We don't want to drop the head or look up just yet. Nice and neutral in line with the spine. Activate the tops of your feet. We also want to draw the navel toward the spine so we're not here. We're not sagging in the lower back. We want to pull the navel up so that we're nice and firm and we're not just sagging and hanging out. We're pressing the mat away from us, hugging the navel toward the spine. From here, you're going to allow the belly to drop and send the tail to the other side of the room and the crown of your head to the other corner of the room. So we don't really want to wrench up. We want to find length and space in the body. So we're lengthening through the spine. Inhale as you open. Exhale, we're going to turn the tailbone down and round the spine. Press up through the shoulders. Drop the head between the arms. Inhale as you find length. Open up. Imagine you're pulling your chest through your shoulders. Exhale as you round. Full yogic breaths. Inhale again. And exhale. Couple more at your pace and with your breath. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. One more time. Come back to your neutral spine position. Anytime you need a break, feel free to take one. If you want to shake out your wrists or anything like that, you're welcome to do that. So from our nice firm tabletop, we're going to now flex the spine sideways. So we're going to take one ear toward one hip, and we're going to make a little C curve with the side of the spine now. So again, try not to drop the back, the belly. Keep the belly hugged in and bring the hip and the ear toward each other. And then to the other side. So we're going to go back and forth, side to side, kind of wagging our tail, looking back, feeling that C curve in the side of the spine. Lateral flexion. Keep breathing. We're going to go back and forth a couple more times. Last time. Awesome. Come back to your tabletop. Good. Then from here, I'm going to take my hands out just a little bit wider, and I'm going to take my knees back just about an inch. Tops of the feet are on the mat, and then I'm going to bend at my elbows, and notice I'm going to keep my elbows close to my body. I'm going to plant my chest between my hands. So my hips are going to still be elevated as I come down. This is hard if you've never done it, so don't stress about it. Elbows hug in. So this is called awkward S pose for a reason. So my chest and hands are in alignment. My chin is down. My hips are lifted. My knees are in line behind my hands, and my feet are on the floor. So another way to come into this pose, we're going to come all the way down to the belly. If you found that really challenging, tops of the feet are on the floor. So let's come into a low cobra here. We're going to peel the chest up. We're not going to come up very far because we're using our back. We're hugging our elbows in and lifting up. Now, another alternative to come into that awkward S pose, if it was difficult for you to do what we just did, you're going to come down, hands are next to your chest, chin down. You're going to tuck your toes, and you're just going to hinge your knees up like an inchworm. And then your hips are lifted. So that's another way to come into this position if the first way was too difficult. So let's come back down to the belly, tops of the feet down. Inhale for a low cobra. I want to keep my gaze out in front of me so my neck is long. I'm not looking up, I'm lengthening. We're going to lift the hands and breathe into the belly here. The feet stay glued to the floor. And we're really strengthening our lower back here. So breathe into the belly. We're also giving a nice internal organ massage for our belly. Take one more breath. Good. Exhale, release your hands down next to your chest, chin down. Tuck your toes. We're going to push back over the hips. Arms extended. My toes are tucked under, so I'm stretching through the bottoms of my feet. And I'm pushing into the mat a little bit to push back. Take a nice deep breath here. Feeling that stretch across the bottom of your feet and your low back. Good. Inhale. Come into tabletop position. Uncurl your toes here. And then I'm going to walk my hands back. So I'm sitting on my heels. And then I'm going to tuck my toes and I'm going to come up into a squat. If this is comfortable for you, you can do it. If not, you don't have to. So you can bring a cushion underneath your heels if you find your heels lift. My toes are going to spill off the mat a little bit and out to the sides. I'm going to take my hands, elbows inside of my knees, my hands to my chest. And don't worry about it. We won't be here long. If this is not working for you, it's totally fine. It's a difficult position, but it's a great one to practice. So I'm finding length through my spine, my tail is dropping, and my heart is lifting. I'm breathing here. Another thing you can add to this pose is squeeze the knees in toward the center as you press the knees open with the arms. Take a breath. Good. Release the hands down and just slowly walk your feet together and straighten the legs a little bit. So we're at standing forward fold at the back of the mat. You bend your knees here as much as you need so that you can bring your hands down on the ground. So you might be very bent. Forehead tucks to the shins, shake your head out a little bit. Yes and no. Let the upper back and neck completely release. Nice breath into the belly, which is maybe resting on your thighs. Shake it out. And then we're going to walk our hands all the way up to the front of the mat so we come into a plank pose here. I'm going to drop my hips so they're like in line with my shoulders. So from here, I'm just going to press my hips up for downward dog. So from your plank, you should be able to go right to downward dog. So we're pressing our hips toward the sky, palms firmly grounding, insides of the elbows forward. Relax your chest and head between your arms. Pedal your feet, walk your dog out. One leg at a time bends. Just pedaling out, warming up the backs of the legs a little bit. If downward dog is uncomfortable or you're not sure about it, that's okay. You can skip it. And then I think there's a good tutorial in one of my classes online about how to do downward dog. So let's slowly stroll ourselves up to the front of the mat now, back to a standing forward bend. Bow here. We're going to dangle our arms in front of us. We're going to find all four corners of our feet on the mat, and then we're going to just shake it out again once more. And we're going to tuck our tailbone and allow the upper body to be passive as we roll up. So we're stacking one vertebra at a time on top of the other. Take your time as you unfurl all the way to stand. And when you get to the top, we're going to shrug the shoulders up and down the back, open the chest. So here we are at the front of the mat in mountain pose. You want to lift and fan the toes. Feet should be hip width apart. Outer edges of your feet are parallel. So check that. Open the chest. Crown of the head lengthens toward the sky as the shoulders drop away from the ears. Take a breath. We're going to inhale, soft knees, sweep the arms up, reach back a little bit, bring your hands together, bring them down to your chest in prayer pose. We're going to do that twice more. Reach back, inhale, reach. Hands come together, down to your heart. As you exhale, release, inhale, reach. Seal the hands at the top, bring them down to your heart. As you exhale, bow to yourself. Good. With soft knees, we're going to inhale, sweep up. And then we're going to exhale and fold all the way down to your forward bend. Again, bend your knees as much as you need, forehead tucks. From here, we're going to come into a flat back pose, lengthen your spine about parallel to the floor. Elbows can draw back as you lengthen. Neck is nice and long. Exhale, fold. Roll it up as you inhale, nice and slow. Back to your mountain pose. Sweep up. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Let go of the breath. Bow. Inhale as you float your spine up halfway. Filling the lungs. Exhale as you empty the lungs. Roll it up, nice and slow. Chin tucks. Open the chest. Good, last time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bow. Inhale, come into that flat back pose. Exhale as you melt forward bend. We're going to plant the hands right next to the feet. From here, you're going to step one leg back and then the other. Plank position, aligning, again, hands under shoulders. Send your hips up to downward dog. So peel the hips up, relax the heels. Good. Come back to plank pose, float shoulders above wrists. Drop your knees. We're going to try awkward S again. Elbows hug close, plant your chest between your hands, chin down. Slide the legs from under you, tops of the feet. Press down as you inhale, low cobra. Let's lift the hands, take another breath. Keep your feet glued to the mat. Release your hands, tuck your toes. Push up, you can come through tabletop, or you can go right back to downward dog. Good. Bend your. Let's actually walk it up. We're going to stroll up to the front of the mat, standing forward fold, and then we're going to roll it up. Open your chest. Mountain pose. Okay, we're going to do a couple standing poses. So I'm going to take my right leg all the way back, and I'm going to open my foot so it's perpendicular to the front heel. A warrior two stance. So heel to arch is a good alignment, or heel to heel. I'm going to have my hips facing the long edge of the mat. And then I'm going to send my arms out nice and long to the sides, extending through the fingers as well. I'm going to turn the gaze over my front arm. So I'm feeling nice and solid in my foundation and my feet. Check your alignment. And then as you're ready, you're just going to bend the front knee to come to warrior two. So if you can go deeper, you want to take your stance wider. You always want to make sure the knee is above your heel. You want to be able to see your toe in your periphery, so the knee is tracking over the second toe. So we don't want to collapse in or open out too much. Nice and firm on the foot. Spine is tall. Breathe here for warrior two. Soften your shoulders. You ground both feet. Find length in the spine. Keep the abdomen engaged here. Navel lifts you up so you're not just hanging out and dumping into the low back. We want to lift and breathe. Maybe challenge yourself in your pose or go easy. Take one more breath here. So nice and firm in the feet and light in the upper body. Strong legs. We're going to turn our front palm to face the sky. We're going to inhale as we lean forward, reach forward. Exhale, float back for peaceful warrior. Back hand rests gently on the back leg. Top arm lifts up and over. The legs are still working here. Find a nice deep breath into the front ribs. Keep lifting up out of the back body. One more breath. We need lots of peaceful warriors out there these days. Come back to your nice, tall warrior two. Gaze over the fingers. One more breath here. Lower the arms, straighten through the front leg. Good, we're going to turn the front foot in and turn the back foot out. Same series on the other side. So make sure the hips face the long edge. Check your alignment. Check your stance. As you're ready, we'll add the arms, extending through the fingers. Soften your shoulders. Gaze to your back arm now. The other arm. Front arm, I guess it's front this way. So when you're ready, we're just going to bend that leg, sink in, and then check your stance. You might need to adjust. Make sure you see your toe. Make sure your foot is firm on both sides. We're lifting the spine. We're not dropping and sinking. Lift up out of the hips. Gaze to the front arm. Breathe. Soft shoulders. You can turn the palms up if you prefer. It opens the shoulders down the back a little bit. That's optional. As you breathe, I want you to think about lightness in the upper body on your inhale and grounding through the feet on your exhale. So we've got energy going both directions here. We're going to turn that front palm up, reach, lean forward here with the torso, leaning a little bit forward. And then as you exhale, float back. Feeling that in the front ribs. We're going to breathe there. So keep lifting out of the back body here as well. We're not collapsing. We're lifting. Breathe. Soft fingers. Relax that shoulder. Keeping the front leg bent. Do the best you can. It's all about the practice, right? Slowly come back to your warrior two. Keeping the shoulders above the hips. Take one more breath here. Breathe in and out. Good. Lower the arms. We'll straighten that front leg. We're going to turn that foot in. Now we're going to aim the toes to the corners of the mat. We're going to fall backwards. Okay. Toes face the corners of the mat. And then we're going to sink into our legs for goddess pose. So this is a challenging pose. If you're new to the practice, don't stress about it. You can make it as difficult as you want or as easy as you want. Again, we want to keep the knees opening out so our torso is tall. So we're sinking, open the knees. Spine is tall. So if this is too much, you can come up out of it a little bit. You don't have to sink so deep. So listen to your body. If you're here, that's great. If not, you are where you are, and that's all good. You're here. So open up, and then we're going to take our arms into cactus arms for goddess. So keeping the chest open, keep the arms back. Back to the arms parallel to the floor. Find your breath. And then we'll take a little flow. If you need to come up, feel free to. Anytime, breathe in. We're going to exhale as we take an arm to the thigh and reach over to the side. So feeling this through the side body. We don't want to round forward. We're opening through the side. Inhale through center. Big breath in. Exhale, reach the other way. Inhale. You should feel this in your thighs quite a bit. Exhale, reach. It's definitely challenging. Inhale through center. Exhale, reach. Again, feel free to take a break. We got one more if you can hang. One more. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. Back to center. Good. Lower the arms, straighten the legs. Whew. I just realized I never turned my overhead on, so I'm going to make it a little brighter. Sorry, guys. Hopefully We'll have to do the whole video over. Okay, so from there, we're straightening up. Good. And now we're going to take our feet in so that the long edge of the foot is parallel to one another. So now we bring our toes in a little bit, so we're almost pigeon-toed here. We're going to do wide-legged standing forward bend. So take your hands to your back, thumbs around the waist, and then the fingers are supporting the sacrum and the low back. So from here, elbows draw back. We lift the chest to the sky. Feel a little momentum forward. Drop your tailbone toward the floor. Lift your heart as you inhale. As you exhale, you're going to hinge from the hips, so your feet are nice and strong. Nice sturdy foundation here. We're going to hinge till you get to the halfway point, so you're parallel to the floor. When you're parallel to the floor, you're going to lower one arm at a time. So your arms are under your shoulders. You can use blocks or risers here if you need. So we want to keep the spine long, shoulders open. Neck is long. Breathe here. If you want to take this a little further, you can walk your hands underneath between your feet and totally fold forward. Let your head hang. If your head is on the floor, take your feet closer together. If you're super far away from the floor, take your feet wider. That'll make it easier. Find a couple breaths here as you relax, letting go of tension in the back and the head. You should be feeling this in the hamstrings and the inner thighs. Walk your hands back out under your shoulders, and we're going to walk your hands over to one leg. So you're going to hold your ankle maybe and fold here. Deep stretch for that inner thigh. Good, release, come back through center, and walk to the other ankle. Take a deep breath. Good, walk back through center, hands under the shoulders. You want to ground your feet nice and firmly as you reach one hand to the waist at a time and slowly hinge yourself back up. Good. Heel toe the feet to the center of your mat. Bringing your feet about hip width apart, mountain pose. So we're going to do a balance posture next, and we'll do the tree today. So a couple things about balance is you always want to remember to keep breathing. And every day is different. So if you fall out, don't worry about it. You can try again. It's about the practice. So looking to gain some stability and balance. So first we want to start with the feet, right? We want to lift and fan the toes. Make sure you've got all four corners of both feet firmly rooted in the ground. I like to envision roots going down from the soles or arches of my feet into the core of the earth. I think that's a helpful visual. If you'd like, maybe have another one. And then I'm going to shift my weight to my standing leg. So you can start on either side. Remember, we want to micro bend the knee. We don't want to lock the knee. So softness to the knee while the leg is still straight. And then for balance, you want to fix your gaze on the floor, anything that's not going to move. And then when you feel ready, fix your gaze. Take the other sole of the foot to the ankle with the toe down if you need support. You can always use a wall too. I encourage you to try it without a wall. Calf or thigh. Whatever works for you. We want to feel that dynamic energy between the leg and the foot pulling toward the midline to lift you up. Hands to the heart. As you're ready, you can stretch your arms up overhead. Soften the shoulders though. Don't hike them up by the ears. Keep them soft. Arms extend. Fingers extend. Breathe. We also want to keep this knee opening out so it's not pointing forward. Keep pressing the leg and foot together so we find lift at the midline. Nice smooth breath. Take one more breath here. Slowly bring your hands to your heart as you release the foot from the leg. Maybe keep the leg up and stretch it out, and then lower down. shake it out. That was just a fun little challenge at the end. You didn't have to do that. Okay, so starting back again from your mountain pose, envision those roots. Shift the weight to the other leg, soften the knee. As you feel steady, you'll take the foot to the ankle, calf, or thigh. Again, remember that activation toward the middle of the leg and foot into each other as you bring your hands to your chest. And then when you're steady, you'll bring your arms up, keep the shoulders soft, extend through the fingers and the wrists. I think I'm a little cut off, so keep the fingers nice and long. Find your breath. Good, one more breath. We'll slowly bring our hands to our heart. Release the foot, maybe take the leg up, stretch it out, flex the foot, and release down. Good, shake it out a little bit. We're gonna come down to the mat now. So however you'd like, I sometimes like to come down through a squat. That's optional, or you can just come all the way down. So I'm gonna see if you guys want to do one more challenge today. This is again optional. We're gonna come into a brief boat. So I'm gonna walk my heels back a little bit. I'm gonna lift my chest to the sky. I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm engaging my core. Sternum lifts. So I'm not rounding my back. I'm lengthening. So we're using not just the abs, but we're using the back muscles here as well in the core. So before the boat, and this is optional, you're going to take your feet, we're kind of balancing on our sitting bones. You're going to take your feet parallel to the floor. Keep lifting, holding onto the backs of the legs. If you want more of a challenge, you're going to release the hands from the legs and reach toward the feet. If you collapse, you've gone too far, so back out. If you want more challenge, straightening the legs, woo! Listen to your body, keep that sternum lifted, breathe. If you want more challenge, you can row your boat. Inhale, open, exhale, row. Slowly make your way down to the mat. See if you can, shaking like a leaf here. Head and feet together, and then release down. All right, nice job. So once you get to the mat, the back to the floor, you're gonna take a deep breath into your belly. Expand your belly and let it go. Bend your knees to place your feet on the floor, hip width apart. We're gonna do figure 4 on the back. So I'm gonna cross my right ankle over my left thigh. And now I've made a little figure 4. So I'm gonna reach the right hand through that hole, connect behind your left thigh. I'm gonna flex both feet to protect my knees. And then I'm gonna draw this unit toward me to stretch my hip. If this doesn't feel like much of a stretch, you can also use a towel or strap if you have difficulty reaching through. You can take a strap here or a towel and hold that instead of the leg. That's always optional. And a good idea if you need to. So then we're gonna, if you have more room to stretch, you can place your right elbow in your right thigh and push that leg away a little bit. That should deepen the stretch in the hip a little bit as we draw everything in. Breathe here. So you can even, if you want, gently rock a little bit, nice and easy, finding some movement in that hip and some stretch. Just soft movement, not too much, just a little bit to kind of change that stretch up a little bit. Wherever you feel you need it, maybe you've got a sweet spot, that's a good one. And then breathe there. Let's take another breath cycle here. And one more. Good. Release your bind or your towel. Release the foot, uncross the legs. Let's take the arms out to a T. We'll just windshield wiper the legs a little side to side, once or twice. Good. And then bring your feet back towards your hips. Feet parallel. We'll cross the other ankle on top, left over right. Reaching the left hand through the hole or connecting with the towel. Flex both feet, draw that unit toward your chest. Your head and neck and shoulders should be totally relaxed in this pose. So if you're here, because your neck is real tight, you need something under your head so your neck can be long. Okay, and then we're going to draw in, and if you want, using the elbow and the thigh to push that knee out a little bit. And maybe moving around a little bit, find some nice release in that hip. Breathe deep. Finding your sweet spot. And wherever you are, you should be able to keep the breath nice and smooth and deep. So if it becomes shallow or you can't breathe, that's an indication that you've gone too far in a pose. Always connecting to your breath. Great. Slowly release and unwind. Arms out again. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then we'll drop the knees to one side. So whichever side the knees are dropped toward, take the opposite arm and stretch it up overhead. And then draw the hip down if you can. We're going to breathe deep into this psoas muscle here on this side. Big implicator for back pain. So take a nice deep breath. As you breathe, you should feel that stretch deep in the core and your abdomen. Good. Lower that arm to your T position. Bring the knees up and drop them to the other side, stretching the opposite arm up. Finding a nice deep breath, feeling that stretch as you breathe. Good. Bring the arm back out to your T. Bring the knees back up. Go ahead and take your knees into your chest. We're going to squeeze the knees in. We're going to make some circles on our back. Massaging our back. Squeeze the knees in and making circles. So with this, you can keep the knees close together, or you can take them wider apart and just notice how that changes the massage on the back. Let's go in the opposite direction a few times. Good. Bring the knees back into center, and then release the feet to the floor. Stretch your left leg out and draw your right knee into your chest. We're going to squeeze that knee in and kind of towards your armpit just a little bit. So breathe here into the belly. Stretching the low back. And then as you're ready, we're going to straighten that leg toward the sky. You can hold on behind your thigh. Maybe the leg comes straight, maybe not. Doesn't matter. Draw the toes towards your face as best you can, sending the heel up to the sky. Here, we're going to inhale as we pull the leg into the hands. So you're going to create a little resistance as you inhale. And as you exhale, you're just going to soften and release, maybe getting the leg a little closer to your body Inhale again, pull. Feeling a little stretch and traction in the shoulders here too. Exhale, soften. One more time. Inhale, push away. And exhale, release. Good. Keep that foot in the air. We're going to take our left hand to our left hip and we're going to hold behind this right thigh. And I'm just going to keep my left hip grounded as I open my leg out to the side until you feel a stretch in the inner thigh. You may not get very far, and that's fine. We want to keep this other hip grounded. So if it pops up, you've gone too far. Keep that hip grounded. We're focusing on the inner thigh now. You can also use a prop here if you need, under your elbow, whatever you need. Good, one more breath. And then we'll inhale as we bring that leg up to the sky. You can also use a strap here. I'm not using a strap, but you're welcome to do that if you prefer. The leg is up now. We're going to draw it to the other side. Rolling onto your hip now is fine. Stretching that IT band. Let's come back. We're going to come back up with the leg. Sorry, I'm going to do it a little different. So I'm going to bring my leg over just on an angle slightly. So I'm going to support myself with my extended arm. And I want you to feel this down the whole side of your leg here. So you don't have to go far. Foot is flexed. Draw the toes towards your face. The leg can be a little bit bent here too. That's okay. Straightening it will just take the stretch all the way down. So we're getting into our IT band here. Good. One more breath. Inhale. Bring the leg back to center. Take your hands next to your hips. Keep the leg in the sky and then slowly trace a line with your heel down to the floor. And then that leg might feel a bit longer than the others, so that's usually how it goes. It's kind of cool how that works. And then we're going to squeeze the left knee into the chest. Draw the knee toward your armpit a little bit. Stretching the low back. This is also called wind relieving posture. If you have gas, you can also use this pose. And then we'll straighten through the leg as you hold behind the thigh. You can use a strap here too if this is too much. If you can't get the leg all the way up, that's fine. You can be here. Anywhere you are is great. So be nice to yourself. Doesn't have to look any certain way, it just has to feel good. So draw the toes in, and then we're going to inhale, press the leg into the hands. As we exhale, we're going to soften and let go. Inhale, press away. Exhale. One more. Inhale, press. And soften. Good. Hold the right hand on the right hip. Left hand supports that leg, and we're going to open out. Again, may not get far. You want to keep this hip grounded. Anywhere you are is great. Focusing on stretching that inner thigh. Breathe here. Make sure that other hip is on the ground. Nice and slow. Inhale, take that leg back up. Extend that other arm out to the side for support, and then slowly bring the leg just about 45 degrees until you feel that through the side of the leg. Flex the toes. Couple breaths. And it's okay if that hip is off the ground now. Nice. Inhale, back through center. Take your hands next to your hips. Keep the foot in the sky and slowly lower down. Trace a line with the heel all the way down. Good. And then shake out your legs a little bit. Letting go of tension. Rock your head a little side to side. And we're going to relax. If there's any last position that you want to take for your practice today, please feel free to do that. If you're ready to relax, coming to your final resting position, Savasana. So the feet, if they're stretched out, you're going to let the toes flop to the sides, palms face the sky. Tuck your shoulders under your chest to open your heart. Allow your fingers to curl toward the hands as they relax. If you have any tension in the low back, you can bend your knees to place your feet on the floor and allow the knees to come toward the midline. So my feet are a little bit wide and my knees fall to center. If you have any tension in the back, this is a nice position for the back. Otherwise, the legs can stretch out. You're going to close your eyes and part your lips so that your jaw is soft. Bringing your awareness back to your breath as it moves in and out of the body, just nice and easy, not forcing anything, just letting the breath be natural and relaxed. With each out breath, feeling yourself sink deeper and deeper into the mat as you relax and let go. Closing your eyes, scanning the body for any areas of tension that might be remaining. And surround that area with your breath on the inhale. And on the exhale, just imagine that tension melting into the mat, melting into the earth as you breathe out. Just let go. Relax, relax, relax. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to the body and the breath. Noticing sensations, noticing the breath. Just enjoying these last few moments as your body relaxes and lets go. And gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes as you bring awareness back to your body. And gently rock your head a little bit side to side. And as you're ready, if they're not already bent, bend your knees to place your feet on the floor. And slowly make your way to the right side of your body, coming to a fetal pose for a moment. Just noticing here any changes in body and mind. Recalling any intention or dedication you might have set for your practice. And as you're ready, you're going to use your left hand to slowly push yourself back up to a seated position. We'll meet here in easy pose. Floating on the spot. Let's inhale as we sweep the arms up together. Breathe in. Seal your hands at the top and bring them down to your heart. And bow to yourself with gratitude for practicing today. We'll bow to each other. Namaste.